David, who fell asleep in my arms. He was keeping everyone up, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to cook something while I'm holding him because usually when I do that, he falls asleep. And he fell asleep while I was preparing everything. And he's just sleeping already. So here we are. I'm about to make a pumpkin soup. I'm setting up the camera here. And I have all my ingredients out. I have the little baby in my arms. It's a really simple recipe and it is delicious. It actually looks like it's a puree soup. It's like a cream of pumpkin soup. And when you're all done with it, it just looks so fancy. I mean, I think it does. It's just like it's not too sweet and it's not too spicy. It's just really delicious. So we are about to make a pumpkin soup while David's sleeping in my arms. Okay, so I have all the ingredients out, and to make the pumpkin puree soup, you need cooked pumpkin. I use butternut squash. You could also use, the best kind to use is kabocha pumpkin, chicken broth, or you can use vegetable stock or beef broth, whichever one you like to choose. You need flour, or I'm gonna use cornstarch because I'm gluten free. So we also use brown sugar, salt, a dash of pepper, some ginger powder, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and some milk or light cream. And you can choose whether you want to make it dairy free or vegan by using almond milk. I'm going to use heavy cream. So hi Raj, thank you for joining our live. This is baby David. He fell asleep in my arms. He was getting fussy, and he usually falls asleep while I'm holding him and cooking. So I guess that relaxed him while I was taking out all the ingredients, and I guess it worked. So here we are making pumpkin soup. Hi everyone who just joined. Hello from the United States of America. We are in my kitchen making a pumpkin soup, and it is going to be delicious. So this is our meal idea for tonight. I have a big family, so I am not as concerned about how fancy it looks, but this one I think is pretty easy to make it look nice because everything goes right in the blender, and it's just a consistent color and flavor when you're done. So to get started, hello Ham. Okay, so this is baby David. He fell asleep in my arms. I wanted him to cook with me because he was awake. I was gonna have him say hello to everyone while he was still awake, but he fell asleep right before I went live. So today we're going to make a pumpkin soup, and this could be a vegan, gluten-free, vegetarian recipe. I'm gonna use actual cream, but you can use almond milk. Everything else is vegan and gluten-free. So to make the pumpkin puree soup, you need pumpkin, cooked pumpkin. You can use it from the can or you can use it fresh. You need broth or chicken stock or beef broth. You need butter, flour, brown sugar, salt, pepper, ginger, cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, and some cream, or I'm sorry, like I said earlier, some milk or cream. So I am going to get started. I have my Vitamix blender right here. This is one of my favorite appliances. I think this is my favorite appliance, and the my pressure cooker / air fryer is my other favorite appliance. I don't know which one I like best, but they both come in really handy, and they both have saved me lots of money by speeding up the process of my cooking. because I don't have a lot of time to cook, but I have a lot of people to cook for. So, so I'm going to start with the pumpkin puree, and you could also do this with, you can also make this recipe with, with sweet potato. If you have no pumpkin or if you don't have enough pumpkin, it comes out just as delicious. It just has a little bit different flavor and a tiny bit different of a consistency. But here's my pumpkin, and I know where the pumpkin came from, and it is from a friend of mine's garden. It is organic, so I am leaving the skin on the pumpkin. You can choose whether or not you want to keep the skin on yours, but I know where my pumpkin came from, so I'm leaving it there for my pumpkin soup. My mother-in-law gave me this recipe. It's really delicious. So I added my pumpkin. Next, I'm going to add my broth. I need a couple, let's see. All right, here we go. You can use pre-made broth, or you can make your own. I didn't make my own, so I'm just using it. This organic kind, and there's that. Ooh, it's gonna taste delicious. I think I can use the rest. Perfect. There's hardly any left, so there we go. So far for our pumpkin soup. Oh, everyone say hi to baby David. He's sleeping. Here, I'll show you baby David. He's sleeping. There's a precious baby. So hello, Rabbi. All right, so for everyone who's just joined, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for joining our YouTube family. And today we are making pumpkin soup. It is a cream of pumpkin puree. It is delicious. And I think that anyone who likes pumpkin should try it. It's not like one of those weird pumpkin spice, like overpowering type of recipes. It is like just right. So I have so far in my blender, I have my pumpkin, I have my broth, and we are going to add some butter. So let's put that in there. All I'm doing is adding all the ingredients to the blender. The only thing that I'm going to add last is the milk or the cream, because I want that to, I want this to cook on the stovetop first. And at the end, I will mix in my cream. So far we have our pumpkin, we have our chicken broth, or we have vegetable broth here. You could use chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef broth, whatever kind of broth or stock that you'd like to use it. Whatever you have on hand is what's best, because if that's what you can afford, you can always change a little bit here, a little bit there to make it fit for your family. So we have our pumpkin, we have our broth, we have our butter. Next, we are going to use, instead of flour, I'm using cornstarch because it's gluten-free. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of that. Then I will add some sugar. All right, so we got our cornstarch. And this is just to thicken the soup up a little bit. All right, and right in my Vitamix, and a little bit of sugar. Okay, so for everyone who's just joined, we are making a pumpkin soup. We are in the United States of America, and it is the fall, and pumpkins grow like crazy over the summer, and they are ready to be harvested around this time. And I cooked a butternut squash. This is sugar I'm adding. I cooked a butternut squash so that we could make our pumpkin soup, and I am really excited to have it. Let's see. Oh, hello everyone. Thank you for liking and subscribing. There's baby David. He's sleeping. Oh, I wonder what he's dreaming about. Okay, so far we have our Vitamix blender, we have our pumpkin, we have our broth, we have butter, and we have our cornstarch, and we have our brown sugar. I'm going to add a dash of salt. You could always add more later. You can never take it back out. So We'll just put a little bit for now. Okay. Then I'm going to add, the spices. So we need ginger. I have my ginger here. And it's just powdered ginger, but you can use fresh if that's what you have. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going to add some ginger. Okay, we got our ginger in our blender. And then I'm going to add cinnamon as well. All right, so we have, hello to everyone who has just joined. We are live with our cooking ideas, and tonight's idea is pumpkin soup. It is a cream of pumpkin puree soup, and it is delicious. For anyone who likes pumpkin or has too many of them that they don't know what to do with, I would say make this soup and give some out to your friends because it's delicious. So far we have our pumpkin, our broth, our butter, flour, brown sugar, salt, our ginger, cinnamon, and lastly, well, almost lastly, because at the end, after we blend it and heat it up, we are going to add cream. So our nutmeg goes right in there. Okay, a little bit of nutmeg, not too much. So I'm going to start up my Vitamix blender. Okay, here it is. This is one of my favorite appliances. And I'm going to put the lid on it. All right, I don't want to wake up the baby, so I'm going to put the baby down really quick. Everyone say goodnight, baby. Oh, okay. All right. All right, so we are going to start up our blender. And here it goes. Let me plug this in. All right. Okay. All right. So we have all the ingredients for our pumpkin soup inside of the blender, and it is going. And it is such a simple recipe. All you need to do is add all the ingredients in the blender and blend it. And then you heat it up and add the cream, mix it in, and you're done. And it is delicious. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. All right. It's looking good. Delicious pumpkin soup. There we have it. Let's take a look inside, see how it came out. There it is. That's our cream of pumpkin soup. It is a pumpkin puree soup. It is delicious. So now that I have all the ingredients blended, I am going to add it to the pot. There we go. Adding it to the pot. Okay. Try to get as much as we could. All right, so I am just going to heat it up, and after it heats up, I just add cream to it. I mix it in, or you can add some almond milk. I mix it in and add salt and pepper to taste, and it comes out great. I love it. You just eat it with some breadsticks, and if you are a meat eater, you can add ham or bacon to it to add a special flavor and a special touch, and it tastes the best. And here's baby David, fast asleep in his little car seat carrier. This is where he feels comfy when I'm cooking in the kitchen, and he's sleeping. It's a favorite spot for him. There he is, fast asleep. Good night, baby David. I love you. All right, there he is. All right, so we have our pumpkin soup heating up on the stove, and I am going to check on it. And then I'm going to add some cream to it. So here it is. We just blended it up. So for everyone who's just joining our live, we just made a pumpkin puree soup. It is cream of pumpkin. We did not add the cream yet, but we will at the end. It is really easy. It is a really simple recipe. All you do is you add all the ingredients into your Vitamix blender or whatever kind of blender you have, and you heat it up. After it's pureed, you put it in the pot, you heat it up, and you add cream. So we have pumpkin, we have broth, we have butter, flour, brown sugar, salt, pepper, ginger, cinnamon, ham, not ham. You could add ham if you're a meat eater. I'm not adding ham or bacon or anything like that. You need ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg. And then at the end, you add a little bit of cream or milk, whatever it is that you enjoy, and it comes out delicious. Hello, James. Yes, David tapped out early. Hello, Nagesh. Hi. And hi, Media Studios. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you for liking and subscribing. So we just made pumpkin puree soup. It is a cream of pumpkin soup, and it is delicious. It is so easy to make, and pumpkins are just, if you have a little plot of land, pumpkins are just so easy to grow. It's like you plant that seed and you water it in the beginning of the season while it's starting to grow, but then like once you leave it there, they just keep coming up. As long as like nobody's stepping on it, you can have pumpkins growing for you so that you'll always have some type of meal or dessert to make if you like pumpkin. I like pumpkin, so I could eat pumpkin soup, pumpkin. I can put pumpkin in anything and I'll enjoy it. So we have our pumpkin soup all heating up, and it is looking good. So far what we did was we added all our ingredients into the blender, then we poured it into the pot, and we got it, we are getting it heated up, and after it heats up, then we add milk or cream, depending on your preference, and yeah, and it just tastes so delicious. At the end, you're just gonna, sprinkle a little bit cinnamon at the top to garnish it, to make it look pretty, and then enjoy it. So we are, I decided to start cooking because baby David had to go to sleep and he wasn't. So while I was preparing everything, David fell asleep. I thought he was gonna hang out with me a little longer and cook, but there he is sleeping. Good night, baby David. Yeah, for some reason he always falls asleep while I'm cooking. He's a good assistant chef, right, David? Yeah, I wonder what he's thinking. All right, so for everyone who's just joined, thank you for liking and subscribing. We are making a pumpkin soup, and I just put all the ingredients in the blender. I poured it into the pot to heat it up. It is almost done heating up, and I'm going to add my cream, pour it in a bowl, and eat it just like that. You could eat it with some sourdough bread or Italian bread or French bread, and it tastes delicious. Yes. Hello, Sis Sam. And thank you everyone for liking and subscribing. Thank you for joining my my YouTube family. And tonight we are making a pumpkin soup, and the pumpkin soup recipe was cooked pumpkin, chicken broth, butter, flour, brown sugar, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cream. And all we did was we put it all into the blender. We blended it up, and after we blended it, we poured it right into the pot to heat up. And after that, we will add our cream and some salt and pepper to taste, and I will pour it in a bowl, and it will just be delicious. So now I'm gonna lower the heat, and I am going to add, let's see, how much do I need to put in there? I'm going to add about half a cup of heavy cream, and then our recipe's done. It's as simple as that. It didn't take me long. We've been live on here for 20 minutes, and I think we're doing pretty well on time. So here we go. I'm adding some cream to it. I'm adding cream to my pumpkin soup. There it is. Looks delicious. All right, so there it is. You mix it right in and it makes the color nice and creamy looking. It looks delicious, I think. So for anyone who enjoys pumpkin, it is a recipe that my mother-in-law gave me. Yes, this is pumpkin soup. It is a recipe that my mother-in-law gave me, and it is my favorite pumpkin soup recipe that I've ever had. It is so delicious. All right, so there we have it. And I just, let's see. It looks really pretty if you put it in a white bowl. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we have our, let's see. All right, so we have our soup here, and let's see. There it is, our pumpkin puree soup. All right, and there we have it. A delicious and easy recipe to make for the whole family or your pumpkin lovers that enjoy having pumpkin for a meal. All right, so thank you everyone for joining our live. I'm glad that you were here with me while I made soup. And thank you for saying hello to baby David, who was going to hang with us but fell asleep. All right, so have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining.